gonna be the very best witch that I can be, Mom.
I really love it here, but people don't seem to like witches in this town.
Depends on the people.
You're on your own at 13. That's pretty exciting. To be completely independent and a witch, impressive.
You heard it up top. Our Miyazaki long-form coverage continues as we jump into an adorable little witch film, because we're talking the one, the only Kiki's Delivery Service here on Normies Like Us with your hosts. I'm going to be Cece.
I'll be Mikey's Delivery Service.
This is Jiji Cub.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
I'm a little cat. That's
Oh
right.
no, why aren't you talking anymore, Jiji Cub? Is it because you
Forgot how to.
It's because you
Oh.
nutted?
I met a beautiful cat next door, a beautiful white cat who's
Yeah,
kind
a
of
rich-
snobbish, but you know what? She gave me the time of day, and now we're best friends.
It's
Hey,
the rich
kid.
cat next door, classic tale of crossing class boundaries for love, incredible stuff. But yes, we were
right.
talking
The
the
aristocrats.
Kikis. Mm-hmm.
Kiki, do you love me?
Nope.
Remember that?
Now I'm gonna get full Kendrick mode if we bring that back. But I do remember
right.
that
We
song.
hate
It was
Drake.
big. We were dancing
Yeah.
next to our cars dangerously, I believe.
That's
during
right.
That song.
A challenge.
Yeah, don't do it.
That's right. Kiki's challenge. You should be
Yeah.
riding a broom, delivering some
Honestly,
packages.
Yes, should be. And we've challenged ourselves to watch one Miyazaki movie every month until we've watched them all. Now we're on our fifth one, and it's my second rewatch because I had seen Castle of Cagliostro and I'd seen
Wow.
Kiki with Kirsten Dunst, and that's it. So
Wow, interesting. And this is, of course, 89, so we're almost into the 90s. Very exciting. Almost out of the 80s. I've seen this before as well, of course, so this was a rewatch for me. But actually, the first time I watched it in Japanese language over the English dub, so I'll say that.
nice. How about you, Colin?
I had to watch it in English, and I'm sure we'll talk a lot about the cast, but there's a certain cast member in this that I have to shout out and can't watch the Japanese version. So even though in these rewatches I've tried to do the Japanese, I did do English for this one.
Colin,
Okay.
if it's who I'm thinking of, I had the exact same hot take in that I prefer the English dub because of one character. So maybe we'll talk about that. If it's the same
Interesting.
character.
Yeah,
It
once we get
absolutely is.
into the behind the scenes, yeah, I'd like to hear, because I don't really know the whole cast of the English version, and it's been, I don't know, over 10 years or more since I've seen the English version.
Oh,
so
wow.
I didn't really
Well,
retain a
real
lot.
quick, my history with this one. This is the second Miyazaki film I ever saw. Princess Mononoke was the first, in that was a rental my brother got. We'll talk about that in that episode. But this film, I watched on ABC Family one summer evening, I think when the rest of my family was out doing something, completely by
Wow.
myself. I think I was like 14 years old. And then I think either that summer, and maybe it's the reason they were showing it, we went and saw Spirited Away in theaters.
Nice.
Wow. What year would have been?
I
Early
what year?
2000s?
2001, maybe 2002, maybe, right?
Okay.
Spirited Away, I think, it was 01.
No.
Yeah, I think I watched
That's
it. There was a period of 01 is Spirited Away. There was a period of time in which I had cable because I wanted to watch ice hockey. So this was during, it was just on TV. I remember the apartment I watched that. So this was around, last time I saw it was 2012, 2014 range, somewhere in there. It was just on TV.
That's so interesting.
Sat down with it.
I've never seen this on TV. I never thought that it would be
Oh, yeah.
airing on ABC or something like that.
ABC Family. Can you imagine, Jacob, the channel that would do we'll do Hocus Pocus, around Halloween,
Another
or
witch
these other
thing.
dumb kids movies, and then they're like, well, this weird animated masterpiece must be for kids. It has a kid in it, and it's animated.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, it is, but
So
Yeah.
it's wild that we both caught it over the airwaves, as it were. What a old school way to catch something for the
used
first
to be able
time.
to do that, Mike.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, the first time I saw it was, I don't even remember, but I think it must have been on streaming a couple years back. So yeah, but this is very similar, I think, in a way to our last month's entry, My Neighbor Totoro in that it is very much a slice of life. Not like a lot of plot going on in terms of like not a lot of tension. It's a pretty it's just a fun watch because it's so lighthearted and it's just about a girl moving to the big city, taking on some responsibilities, and her adventures that come therein.
Yes, that ensue thereafter. Yeah, it was fun to rewatch it. Again, I didn't really retain much from the first time I viewed it, so it kind of felt pretty new. And again, art style Miyazaki. And is this, not jumping ahead, but is this the first Miyazaki movie, speaking of television, to feature televisions in it? Like, we've kind of been low
What
tech.
year do you think this?
I was
takes
trying to place.
Yeah.
First of all, I was trying to place
Sometime
what
in
year
the
it takes place
50s?
and what country the city is located in. Both very good questions. I think obviously it's not a Japanese looking city. It's a more European looking city.
Yeah.
Probably German or Austrian, I would say.
I have an answer,
like
but I'll
that.
save that for when we get into the
Okay.
makings of the episode.
It reminds me of
a little bit of research.
Yeah. The city itself reminded me of Munich in Germany, which I've visited before. Just the architecture and everything about it. And then, what year is it set in? They have like a mixture of technologies. I think it's certainly pre-internet, but post, obviously electricity and TV and radio.
I honestly
and things like that.
think it could be the 80s.
The 80s, yeah, it could be.
Wow.
Or the 70s.
It might be his most contemporary film to when it is released.
Right. But yeah, as we mentioned in Totoro, like, they don't even have a phone at their house in Totoro. So now we're getting TVs and radios and a little bit more kind of tech than we've been used to. I guess Lupin is an exception because they've always had
A
cars
black and white
vehicles.
TV, though.
Black and white TV, yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting. Anyway,
maybe
not to jump ahead.
The old ladies. Yeah. Let's jump into it, shall we? Let's take a break and then jump in.
Yeah, let's hop on the
Kiki's
broom.
delivery service.
Absolutely.
Yep.
We're back here on Normies Like Us, where we're jumping in like we said. Miyazaki continues. We've done how many Miyazaki films now?
This is our fifth.
Agasaki, of course, we're in now.
Agasaki.
This is our fifth. Yeah, and we're getting into the the era of Miyazaki dominance. I think it starts in the 90s when he really became the guy, like the art house animator that people are like, oh, Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke. This is still in the early period, I think, but transitioning into that middle period, I would say.
Oh, I think this is banger from here on out, right?
Right.
Yeah,
probably.
I think so.
I do know that I did some research, before the show after I watched it. This is the first Ghibli film that was like immediately like financially a box office like success on release. Like Totoro was like become a cult favorite. This was like, okay, this guy's got the juice, and like we said, I think it's banger from here on out. So this is the first one to really lock him in as profitable, not just in our tour, but he can bring in money.
Absolutely. And this is, of course, adapted from a book. And this is actually the first time that he's adapted something other than Lupin, I guess, because that's an established IP, but he's adapted something that wasn't his. So obviously, Nausicaa was adapted from the manga, which he created the manga. This is adapted from a book series, I believe, about Kiki, the little witch delivery service, written by someone else.
Lupin, he's animating that show before they make the movies. That still tangibly feels like
he didn't create Lupin.
Right, of course, you're absolutely right.
But still. But yeah, I guess so the Japanese title Majo no Takubin, based on the novel. I see the author here, Eiko Kadono, 1985. The novel was written, and I have some fun fact about that. Takubin, right? So that is a term for a door-to-door delivery service in Japan. You can use it to, let's say you want to take your luggage, have it sent to the airport, you use a takubin. There is also, the general term for that is taku haibin. So there's a company, very famous in Japan, called Yamato Delivery Services, basically. But their logo is a black cat, Kuroneko, as we hear her refer to Jiji, my Kuroneko, and they deliver stuff. It's the biggest delivery company in Japan, and they trademarked the term takubin versus taku haibin. So when she made the book, they were upset that they used their copyrighted kind of takubin terminology. But then when it came to make the movie, they paid a little bit of money to produce the movie, and then it all worked out for everybody because now Takubin was
Wow.
a whole thing. But that company had been around since 1919. So like when she made the book, it's like, oh, that's R.I.P. They were kind of pissed, but it all came back around by the time the movie was
And
made.
they employ young witches who are
Yes.
going out on their own for the first time as their employees.
Yes.
But
yeah, the black cat is their
that is
logo,
interesting.
and I thought that was fascinating that that's kind of Kiki keeps saying Kuroneko, and people in Japan will even colloquially just refer to Yamato as Kuroneko. Oh, I'm going to use Kuroneko. Black cat. I'll use black cat.
Black cat
Produce a
delivery.
movie because of wordplay. Is,
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Well,
Japanese
So that's your
tradition.
fun fact. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can give you a little background on this. So,
Please.
basically, Studio Ghibli optioned the rights to this book in 1987 for either Miyazaki or Isao Takahata to direct. However, at the time, they were both busy doing My Neighbor Totoro and Grave of the Fireflies, which, remember, came out as a double feature and would air as a double feature, which is the most tonally insane double feature ever. But
Yeah.
so they were both busy with those things. But then after finishing Totoro, Miyazaki started working on this, and that's how it came to be. Obviously, he changed some things from the novel. Some things are taken straight from the book, but some things are changed or added to or expanded upon. But the book is very similar in plot, where it's just a young 13-year-old witch going off on her own, as is the witch custom, going to a new big city and employing her witch services.
Did it remind you guys of Pokemon? How in Pokemon they're like, "You're 13 now, Ash. You got to go wander the country and sort of like kind of have a job / live outside with your little monster."
Yeah. Time to hit it.
It is very it's very anime in that, like, you're 13, time to go off on your own and have an adventure by yourself. Which is a lot of responsibility to put on a young person like that.
Yeah, and also, Japan, again, is pretty safe. So kids at a very young age are even taking themselves to school on the train, the little backpacks and stuff. So there's like independence coming at an earlier age than maybe 18, you're out of here. So this idea of 13, go have an adventure, it is a little bit more, I think, coming from that cultural
I love it.
angle.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so
well, we mentioned the city.
Go ahead.
I guess they visited Stockholm and a medieval town called Visby in Sweden that were kind of big visual.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, obviously a very European-looking city from the architecture, the signage, and flags and everything. But I love this city. It's like a coastal city, beautiful, obviously beautiful animation and landscapes and everything, as is per usual in a Miyazaki film. I would expect nothing less, but I want to visit this city. Like, it looks like such a cool city to walk around in.
Yeah, Koriko, great city. It's like it reminds me of Cagliostro because of like the European vibes, but it's like it feels cozier, like way cozier than Cagliostro's kind of vibes were. Yeah,
it's got a big clock. That reminds me of Munich too, because I think there's like a big famous clock in Munich, like an old fashioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
We love big clocks.
The big welcome back to the
We
Big
love
Clock
big clocks,
podcast.
folks.
We love big clocks. Tell the time. But yeah, Kiki. So yeah, she essentially the setup is Kiki's 13 now, and she's going to leave her small village and go to the big city and find a place to do her witch stuff. What I like about the setup is, contrary to like a lot of maybe let's say Western media, where a Harry Potter, right? It's a normal boy goes to a magical land, quote unquote normal. He's a wizard, but like you go from normal setting to magical setting. Instead, we're taking a magical person, and she has to adapt in a normal, like regular setting. It's
and I think it's such an interesting take on witchcraft and magic, where it's like this is a world where witches exist and everyone kind of knows that, but like they don't really have a negative connotation. Like, people are like, oh, cool, a witch. Like, you can do magic and stuff. That's awesome. Like, people
sometimes there's a need for one. Sometimes there's not a need for one. It's sort of like a necessity basis.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, like, Kiki, she's only 13. She's still learning, but she doesn't really do like magic or make potions or spells or anything. The only thing she really does is fly around on her little broomstick. And that's like her one skill, it seems like, at this point. Which is, of course, why she starts a delivery service. Yeah.
Yeah. And at the beginning, we do see her mother like doing some type of potion work. They always explode. That's kind of the bit. The potions are always
Yeah.
blown up. But so yeah, the start of her journey, the village is really supportive. She's going to go earlier than normal because of the full moon. It's the perfect time. I got to go now. It's
Oh
earlier. We're
boy.
going to cancel the camping trip. Um, and
Right.
she's excited to go, but she has her own broom that she made, and her mom's like, "Nope, you need like you're not quite grown up yet. You need my broom to go take this." And there's like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
You're
and
not quite there.
here's the whole thesis of the whole movie, right? This is a movie about like puberty and like coming of age and like this journey that you're on and like a child transitioning to adulthood and
Mm-hmm.
like that weird awkward phase of like still feeling like a child. Now, Mike, you said it's probably been a minute since you've seen this. It's definitely been a minute for me because this whole beginning stuff with the dad, didn't remember it.
Me either.
And this was the start of, and I have to tell you guys, when I watch this movie, and I will open up and say this is my favorite Miyazaki, that while I was watching it, I basically cried the entire time I was watching this movie. And when
Oh,
this dad lifts up this kid and puts
Uh,
her down and says, "Who gave you permission to, grow up or whatever?" And she giggles, I was like, "Uh-oh, here we go."
yep.
yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, and just the camping trip, and he's just still like, like I'm kind of bummed about the camping trip, but I support you.
You're
Like, yeah,
leaving this weekend, but we have the camping trip. No, I'm leaving tonight at midnight. And the look on his face where he's like, "No, but you can't.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
my
Right.
daughter. I'm not
And
done."
the mom being apprehensive about her leaving so soon, and but that's sort of that's the witch's rite of passage, going to a new city and employing your witch services in however way you can, for a year, I think, and then you come back, I guess, home for a while, and then I don't know what, but and of course she has her little black cat Gigi, her spirit animal,
Mm-hmm.
who I love, Gigi, of course.
And he can talk
Uh,
at least for a
you
majority
can
of this.
talk to
She can
her at
talk to
least.
Gigi.
Let's
Yep.
do
Yeah.
let's do the cast for both
Yeah.
these two. So
Okay.
the
Yeah.
English voice actors,
So this
Kiki
is
Dunst, Kirsten Dunst, and
Kiki
then
Dunst, Kirsten Dunst, and the great Phil Hartman as Gigi in the English
oh
dub.
boy.
And now this is so, Colin, I think you agree with me on this, but my hot take was going to be, again, I think I actually, seeing the Japanese dub for the first time, I actually prefer the English language version because of the Gigi voice. Because in the Japanese version, it is obviously a woman voice actress and sort of a
Oh
more
yeah.
childish, cute voice versus the English dub where you have Phil Hartman. Hey, I'm Gigi. I'm Phil Hartman Gigi. So it's a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
different vibe that Gigi has, you
No
know?
nonsense. He's like
When
her
I
Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I watched it in Japanese, obviously, but I was kind of trying to pull clips and look at some reviews and stuff to do some research. And when I heard the Phil Hartman voice for Gigi, I was like, this is a very different vibe. Yeah.
Right. It is very
Uh,
different. And when I heard the Japanese voice, I was like, oh, this is not the Gigi that I know at all. It's like a little cute animal. But I think
couldn't.
why I love the English version so much is it's this little cute black cat that has the voice of Phil Hartman, and
Now,
I don't know, it just fits for some reason to me.
Interesting
now
choice for sure.
Jacob,
Yeah.
it's amazing casting. But now, Jacob, you've mentioned a little bit sort of the history of these films getting dubs and weird different dubs. And there's now these G Kids, which are sort of the people who own the brand who do these different celebrity dubs. Why is
Yeah.
this still the version I saw on TV as a kid? Like
So
this
this
one
is the
has not been messed with.
97.
This has just always been good.
Well, all of these early Ghibli ones, they had an original English dub, which was
Okay.
the
There's a
let me look it up here.
1989
Yeah.
Streamlined
That's
Pictures.
definitely not what aired on
Streamline
TV.
Tokuma.
No,
Yeah. No, this so Disney and
1998.
Buena Vista came in the mid 90s and did their
Yeah.
own dubs with like celebrity voice actors and stuff for all of the earlier Ghibli movies. So you had an original voice cast which didn't have any like big names. And then so for all these, including Nausicaa and Totoro and all of those, Disney came in and said, yeah, we're gonna get Kirsten Dunst as Kiki, we're gonna get Phil Hartman, we're gonna get Janine Garofalo.
Yeah.
So
So that
and
was
obviously those are superior just in terms of quality, I think.
right, and just 98. That puts it in line where we would have been around 10 years old. So if we saw it in TV, 10 or after, this would be the version that we're catching, and it makes sense that
Yeah.
Disney would be the avenue for
And
that
that's the
kind of
one.
thing.
Yeah, that's the one you're going to be able to find. I don't even know if you can find the original English dubs of any of these. Maybe on VHS or something if you bought a physical copy. But it was all because, like I said, in the 90s, you had Princess Mononoke, then you had Spirited Away in the early 2000s, where Western audiences really started paying attention to Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli. And they had this deal with Disney where Disney's like, okay, let's publish these Ghibli movies in the West, and let's have these star-studded voice cast for the English dubs.
I mean, there were featurettes when you would walk around at Blockbuster that would play on the TVs above you, where it would be Billy Bob Thornton talking about playing a supporting character in Princess Mononoke, not even the lead, and people being like, whoa, these movies are serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys prefer the English version
For
of
this one, I
then?
think I do, just because of the Jiji voice. And Kirsten Dunst, I think, is a great Kiki. So I hate to be, it's blasphemous to anime lovers and weeaboos everywhere, but I think I do prefer the English dub for this one. And I think all these Disney dubs are very good quality with the translation and everything as well. They put money into it and everything.
Right.
So.
I will say, spoilers for Kiki, it's an old movie, but like I watched the Japanese version. I want to shout out, at least, out of respect, Minami Takayama as Kiki and Rei Sakuma as Jiji, as our leads here. I liked the kind of more, I guess, feminine or like childlike Jiji, because there's a reading of this that is maybe Jiji is just her imaginary friend, and it would sound more similar to how she thinks, maybe.
Interesting.
And of
Which
course,
we'll get
Jiji
to
is
that
still a
more near the
male
end.
cat. Yeah, he's a male cat, but obviously Japan, they do this a lot with younger or more cute characters where they have a female voice actor for a male, like even obviously Ash Ketchum, voiced by a woman.
Son Goku in the original Dragon Ball.
Monkey D. Luffy.
Naruto.
Monkey D. Luffy. Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Monkey D. Luffy. Yeah. So it is a thing.
Yeah.
But the more kind of childlike take on Gigi's delivery feels like it's coming from maybe a child's mind, which that's depends on how you read the situation. But yeah, anyway, I think both are good.
Just while we're talking about these two characters and introducing this whole world, I have to ask, did either of you guys track down the 2004 live action adaptation of this film?
No.
Whoa, no.
I should have.
I
should have just watched that one.
I might watch it tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting.
I didn't realize that was a thing.
It's very cute looking. There's been a million tie-in sponsorships. A lot like Totoro, this seems to be one of his most commercial hits. I would argue.
Yeah.
Well, as you said, Mike,
it's a crowd pleaser.
One that monetizes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think I have heard about
It's
this.
appropriate
And I think
for all ages.
Oh,
it's supposedly pretty bad. It's also like only 3 minutes longer than this film. Like it's pretty short as well.
I heard it might be.
So it's got to be pretty 1-to-1.
Or more similar to the book is what I might have heard, but don't quote me on that. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
But it might be worth checking out as an artifact.
I think there's a
there's
a live action adaptation of Whisper of the Heart, which was a Studio Ghibli animated film in the 90s. So that's interesting. But I don't also another thing I want to say about Phil Hartman Jiji, the older male voice for Jiji. Also, I like it because it reminds me of Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, who had a cat that talks, right? And he had a Salem, yes.
Played by Nick Backey, of course. Yes, go ahead. Yes,
of course, Melissa Joan Hart.
I did think about that
Sabrina,
when I was watching this.
Yeah, and I grew up watching Sabrina and stuff back in
the
day.
Real quick, do young people know who Phil Hartman was, Jacob? Will you just say who he was real quick and what happened to him?
So Phil Hartman, a great comedic actor, SNL, some iconic voices on The Simpsons, lots of he was in a lot of movies and stuff as well. Just a really great comedic actor. And then sadly, very tragically, was killed by his wife, I believe, in sort of a
stabbed to death.
Domestic dispute. And he was tragically killed. So
she was on drugs.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it was a really sad end to his life there, but he's a great actor. I think of his Simpsons voices a lot. the lawyer character, and I can't even remember his name at this point, but
Yeah.
Jingle All
the
the Way.
action
Yeah.
Jingle All the Way. He's the
Yeah.
he's the
He's
neighbor
the guy
who
who's
tries
trying to-
to get Arnold's wife to cheat on him with him.
Your wife's cookies are so good.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you're married to this bodybuilder, but what if you could be with me, Phil Hartman?
I respect
Guy.
the game. Like that takes guts, man. I'm like, yo,
Right.
Oh, to take a shot at Arnold? Can you imagine?
try to challenge Arnold. Wow, respect, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gigi Phil Hartman, nice. There has also been a play of this, a live action in London. They do a live action stage play
Wow.
of Kiki's. I'm not sure how it works, but I did also
Oh.
come across that.
I'd like to see that as well.
So fascinating
And
stuff.
looking at it, Phil Hartman passed away in '98, which is when this
Released.
English dub was made. So this would have been one of his last roles, sadly.
It
Wow.
might be.
Yeah. He was in Small Soldiers, his last role, posthumously released. So
Wow.
there you go.
I do love Small Soldiers. Shout out Joe Dante.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Kiki has had a huge legacy, I guess. Like you said, it's one of the biggest ones, I think, as far as spinning off a bunch
It's
of
one that I
different-
didn't see. It's one of the last ones that I saw, actually. Like, I didn't see it until later, when I was in my 20s or even early 30s. I don't remember exactly when, but I'm like, why did I put this off for so long? You know, having seen so many other ones. But obviously, I love this movie. So, yeah, should we get into the plot maybe?
No, let's do it. Let's jump into the old story of Kiki herself. She's got her little radio attached to her broom, flying around. She loves it.
We are flying high through the sky with our little black cat because we are talking Kiki's delivery service. And yeah, we set up the opening scene. She's chosen to go on her Pokemon journey. She's going to travel to Cerulean City because it's close to the sea. That's kind of what she wants to check out. She flies up into the sky. She is good at flying, it seems. And she meets another witch who's actually a bitch.
Yes, Mean Girls in the sky.
A little snobby.
You can't
Oh,
fly here.
So pretentious. Yeah.
But
Would you
this-
mind
Cat's
turning
like,
your radio off? I like to fly in silence, you know.
Yeah.
Because yeah, of course, that's what I love about when it starts, where Kiki's just flying off. She's got the radio playing, and that kind of sets the whole scene.
She gets over the moon, and then you get the title. I'm again crying. So now it's like really hitting.
And you got
yeah.
an hour and 30
great.
to go. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Buckle up.
Right.
No, I love this. The animation too, just the way she flies, like the dynamic.
Oh,
you know,
boy.
we've mentioned this with Miyazaki's other works, but it's so well animated.
A Miyazaki movie about flying? Who would have thought?
Yeah, it's a central component of the plot this time. I like this other witch though, because she kind of represents. She's bitchy, but it's like, I got it figured out. This is my town. I do some fortune telling. My cat's really chill. Like you're kind of, you got to calm down, girl. Like I got it figured out. I'm composed. I'm mature. Kind of represents that idea of what she eventually wants. Not to be bitchy, but like have her place, feel confident in like what she's about, and that's kind of how I took this interaction.
And she's done. She's literally returning home from her apprenticeship as a witch, and it's this demarcation of Kiki's at the start of her journey. She's seeing what she will literally transform into, and is face to face with, is that what I want to become?
Yes, that's true. Because she had not really, she's had her ideal version, and to see somebody finishing it, is that who I want to be? That's a good point, Colin. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It's a great screenplay. It's written
I
by
also think
Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Right.
He knows young
think,
women need to use phones. They want young girls want phone lines.
Yes.
I think the dress that Kiki wears, this plain black dress, is very representative. Where she wants something more beautiful looking. It's a very plain dress. It's not like tailored or anything. It's just a very straight
like
dress.
the pattern
which
is
like,
very
man,
simple. Yeah.
Yeah. And throughout this movie, she's kind of seeing other, girls or whatever wearing fancy clothes and stuff. And sometimes she's like, I wish I had something like pretty to wear. I just have this boring black dress. And I think that's kind of representative of her also coming of age. And
But you're beautiful and mysterious. What are you talking about? You look incredible.
Yep.
And she does add a red bow to give herself a little bit of flair, right? A little
It's
bit
an
of
iconic look. The tradish broom, there's no frills. It's just a broom, and then just the
yeah,
black with the red ribbon. I mean, I've seen people do it for Halloween. It's a very popular look, I feel like.
right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah, and then like no hat. Yeah, it's just very simple, chilling. She does at
Yeah,
one point look in the window. She wants those. She looks at fancy stuff. She sees the shoes, which I think are definitely a nod to The Wizard of Oz, which also is a very witch-heavy movie.
right.
Um,
Yeah, and I think that's a reoccurring thing where she sees people her age, other girls, Tombo's friends, and she kind of sees them as pretentious or entitled or something. But she also kind of, in a way, wants to be them, wants to have their fancy clothes, kind of thing. Do you guys agree with that?
yeah, it's trying to figure out her identity. I think like she's figuring it out 'cause she doesn't. Do I want to do what I've always done? How do I want to? How do I want to change? I guess it's essentially the movie. In what way am I willing or able
Absolutely.
to change? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only do I agree with it, but you also just reminded me that the lead boy character's name is Tombo.
Tombo, yeah.
Very
We'll talk
nice
about
and
Tombo.
fun.
And even when she delivers this the pumpkin and herring pie that the old lady makes for her granddaughter.
I'm with the young girl. I'll be with you guys.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I understand that if you don't like pumpkin and herring pie, but the girl's reaction to be so, to be like, oh, I told grandma I don't want this.
She
Her
works so
stupid
hard,
pie."
don't you know?
Yeah.
It cost me everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But we'll get to that. I don't want to jump ahead too
Yeah.
far. But
This is because here's the thing. So sometimes these Miyazaki last couple, we've kind of been a little aimless of like, here's the plot. It's just kind of like a vibe or whatever. And
Mhm.
Jacob,
Yeah.
you said this follows in the tradition of Totoro that it is slice of life. But that film really is more like emotion or vibe coded. This is character coded.
Yeah.
Like the whole
Yeah.
film is centered around one little girl. And it is episodic in that it's like goes to a new city, gets a job, her first job, is she happy working? Saves the day from an airship disaster.
Different
the
things,
normal storytelling circle.
Yes.
Yeah, there's different complications to her various jobs that she has to overcome. There's bad weather. She gets sick at one point. She's maybe taken on too much work and she's become overworked and sort of overextended. Like she started doing something that is her passion, flying in her little broomstick, and realized, oh, I'm trying to monetize my passion and it's actually making me not like it as much. That's something I think we can all relate to.
Absolutely. And being a nice
Modification of
person
yourself.
but facing a world that's like not kind to you. I like that it's all these mini chapters of she meets someone who recognizes that she is kind. And when we did our anime draft, I was very heavy on getting Suzume by director insert name here, Mike.
Oh, Makoto Shinkai.
Thank you very much.
Shinkai,
You're welcome.
And Jay, I don't know if you saw that since that draft, but that is a film about a woman who has an overarching plot she has to do, but the whole film is just her interacting with people and having like nice little adventures where at the end they're like, you're a nice young lady. I hope things work out for you, which is what this film is.
Right.
And it fills me with a lot of like joy to see these like happy struggles.
Yeah, that is Kiki. And she kind of has a shock when first coming to the city, like a culture shock where she's like, wait, the big city, like it's kind of, she doesn't have the best first impression where she comes, like people are kind of rude to her and she's like, oh, I don't know if I like this city. Like, should we maybe go to a different city? But then she meets this nice baker lady, this bakery couple that kind of take her in. And she's like, you know what? Maybe this city isn't so bad after all.
Yeah, the baker's husband is a strong silent type, I would say. But I do like that friction she initially, it's like, when you move to a big city, no matter how talented you are, like nobody gives a shit. Like she could literally fly and nobody's impressed. It's like, that's the big city. Like you got to prove yourself.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to care.
She gets yelled at by a cop.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't fly around here. What are you doing? She meets a boy who's like, this boy is like very excited to meet her. She's kind of like taken aback and is like, oh, he's being rude and stuff. She doesn't know how to react to this Tombo. So yeah, it doesn't give her the best first impression, but she grows into the city itself. Like having lived there for a while, she's like, you know what, this city isn't so bad. I'm learning to live on my own, be an independent young witch. And yeah, I like that.
I was on the phone with my parents the other day, and we kind of brought up when I first we all moved to California from Ohio at some point, and they talked
Yeah.
about kind of like when I first left, and then I immediately went home and watched Kiki, and I'm like, this is so much that like going to a new city, learning
Yeah.
how to live, adjusting
Yeah.
to it, figuring out how to quote pay rent or whatever, that and that whole thing. So I really appreciate that
Absolutely.
about this
Well,
movie.
in
mean,
our
leaving, yeah.
journey, and a lot of people, they travel for education, or maybe they travel to join some sort of work experience. But would you thrive at 13 if you had to go to a new place and start a business?
No,
Definitely
see, that's
not.
the thing. Like at 13, I couldn't have, but it reminds me, yeah, like when I graduated college and yeah, went from, all right, I'm moving across the country. I'm putting everything I own into this minivan. And me and a friend of the pod, Cole,
Hmm.
drove across the country
Jiji?
to our
Hmm.
new apartment in California from Ohio. And that's when I was, 23 years old, not 13. So it's a little bit different.
But yeah, we all
Uh,
had that experience of going somewhere new, trying to figure it out. It's like new places, you don't have any friends, and yeah, it's she can't like even get into the hotel. Like she doesn't have money. It's like she's completely
right.
unprepared for this whole thing until she
At
runs into this
13, yeah, I
lady.
couldn't imagine doing that at 13 and moving to California after, I graduated college, and that was such a huge move. And, coming to Los Angeles, the big city, was such
By the
a
coast.
big thing, and having to, yeah. So yeah, I definitely identify with this movie a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people do, because yeah, it's a coming of age story, and we've all come of age at some point in our life.
You
Yeah.
took that
So
train you fell asleep on.
Oh yeah, that's right. We get the train. It's a happenstance. There's a little bit of luck with where she ends up too because of the storm. That's right. Um,
yeah,
but like as you mentioned, Colin, this does have a lot more linear narrative than Totoro, where it is kind of a basic, rough hero's journey structure.
And there is stuff like, oh, she took a train, and wait, is that what she wanted? It went when she was sleeping. No, that's not really a big deal. That's not an issue. Or, oh, she met this baker who's like so eager to take her in and like thinks she's so talented. Is she gonna exploit her talent? She's saying things like, no, you don't need a phone. Trust me. It's like, no, she really does care about her. That's not really the issue. Again, she's just a young girl who's growing. And you're like, oh, okay. Fun,
Yeah.
exciting.
And what I
yeah. I
love
think she's
about
good at going with the. Sorry, just the she's rolling with the punches, and if she has to improvise, like yeah, she sleeps on the train in the hay, but she's like, oh, this is so comfortable, I love it. And then
mm,
eventually meeting this baker couple, and this baker lady being so nice to her and stuff, like things tend to work out, even when there's a setback, it still tends to work out in the end.
yeah, and what I love about when she first meets this baker, she tells her, "Oh, let's come upstairs for a second. Let's chill out." And she offers her coffee, which is like kind of an adult drink. You wouldn't offer a kid coffee. So I kind of see that as
Right.
her seeing Kiki as an equal. Like, you're going to have to do your own thing. There's a room upstairs. I'm not cleaning it for you. You can use the phone, but you got to figure it out. But I'm going to see you as an equal here. Let's have some coffee and figure it out. I like that scene.
Yeah, and of course, what I like about Kiki's character too is that she doesn't want anything for free. She's willing to work for, she helps out at the bakery, in exchange for room and board, and she's like, I don't want to take anything for granted. So I like that she's a responsible young lady,
Trying to learn to
and a very
cook
polite young lady.
pancakes. Yeah, like on
Yeah,
her own. Yeah, it's great.
We're gonna have to live off these. It's only pancakes from now on,
That's
Jiji.
all I can
that's
do,
right. All we
Gigi.
have money for until we make some more deliveries.
Yeah. And the first delivery is like an accident. There's a woman who drops a pacifier for the baby in her stroller, and she ends up going away. A woman's going to track her down, and she offers, "Oh, I can do that." And much like Castle in the Sky, we get a person jumping off of a ledge, and the spectator not knowing if they'll survive. And then she flies on her broom,
Yeah.
and the woman's very surprised. And
Right.
there we go. She writes a nice
Um,
letter after delivering the pacifier to take back, to say, "Hey, I got the thing.
yeah.
Thank you so much." This kind of gratitude for her skill, and she's like, "Maybe this is it."
Yeah, and Kiki kind of thinks like, oh, you know what? This is like my one skill. Maybe I can put that to use and start a delivery company. And I'll be based out of this bakery. I'll live in the, spare room.
Hmm.
And I love this baker couple too. Like you said, the strong, silent husband, um, the pregnant wife who's just a very nice motherly character.
She's got a bun in the oven.
Yeah.
She wants to
Oh.
make money for a beggar. She wants to be off her feet and basically just like watch TV. And she's like, I don't know, what if you came and worked for me? Wouldn't that be cool? And they're all like, that's a great idea. And he loves her. And even though
Yeah.
he is, as we keep saying, so silent, there's so many scenes where he's like peering out and like looking for her in like stressful
Yes.
situations.
There's some great moments with the husband character where he, like you say, yeah, he doesn't say much, but he just has these little moments. Or like even when he at one point he like spins the bread trays for Jiji, and Gigi's like, "Oh,"
That was
he's
pretty
like,
sick.
he like winks at Jiji.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I love that he on the show for Jiji.
Yeah, a lot of characterization for a character that doesn't speak, more or less.
Yeah, and he shows a lot of concern for Kiki when she's late, or like it's raining out, and he's like, yeah, out waiting for her and stuff. Yeah, a great couple that I would love to meet coming into a new city, and these are the first people that you meet.
Yeah. When you start to feel comfortable,
Yeah.
Jiji meets the neighbor's cat that just seems stuck up at first.
Right. Oh, what a stuck-up cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so Kiki, she starts getting some work and starts, going on these various adventures, delivering things. I think the first one that they really go into in depth with is the toy cat that she has to
Yes.
deliver to a young child. A toy cat that looks just like Jiji. What a coincidence!
What a
And of course,
coincidence.
while she's flying, she sort of gets knocked over by a gust of wind and ends up crashing into some trees. There's some birds there. She kind of disrupts the birds, and then she accidentally loses this stuffed cat. And so she thinks, oh, you know what? Well, maybe Jiji could be the replacement cat and pretend to be the fake cat, and I'll go find the cat and bring it back later.
Let's see if there's any lesbians in the area who could fix my cat.
Yes.
Yeah, see if there's any hippie artists living in the woods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like this whole setup with Jiji, and he has to sit really still in the cage, and so then
The dog.
the dog, yeah, so
Yeah.
she drops off Jiji with the kid, and then goes to hopefully find the stuffed cat, which she does.
Right. So she finds this sort of cabin in the woods, meets a nice lady there who, like you said, is an artist, and is just like this cool, independent lady that Kiki kind of looks up to, I think, and that she's like, yeah, again, a very independent, free spirit, doing her own thing out in the woods.
I guess that's
great
an
role model for
important
Kiki.
point because she literally is doing it all on her own. She's got her own cabin, doing
Yeah.
her own thing, no support whatsoever. Whereas Kiki's still living with his family, so it's like, oh, that's an aspirational figure for her.
I think there is a
Right.
reading that you could do. I make a joke about the sexuality, but that like she does in 2/4 have the exposure of a heteronormative couple and someone queer and independent, and she kind of has to decide which lifestyle's for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had that conversation too about like inspiration in art and passion and stuff too. But it's all
Yeah.
Gigi says,
I kind of
she says, Gigi, I'm gonna go back because she's gonna draw me, and Gigi says, naked.
yeah.
right. See, I kind of see the Baker couple kind of as parental figures to Kiki, and then I see this Woods lady as kind of an older sister character where she can kind of look up to her and be like, that's who I kind of want to be like when I'm older. Because this lady's probably in her 20s or something. She's not an old lady, she's a young lady, but she's definitely older than 18.
Yeah, she's a young woman.
Yeah.
But I like this character. She loves drawing crows. And again, we'll see more of her as we go on.
Yeah. And they, again, Kiki's like, I'm willing to make a deal. Like, I don't want something for nothing. So if you give me, Jiji back, who also got ripped, or not Jiji, but the fake cat that was ripped. She's like, you know what? I can fix your fake cat if you can like do some cleaning and scrubbing the floors around here for me. And Kiki's like, yeah, I'm happy to help out.
Yep. And I got in back-to-back Miyazaki movies where we're watching floors. You love to see it. But
just wait for fucking Spirited Away, the
more
ultimate floor washing movie.
Floor washing.
See, that's what young people need, a little responsibility and discipline in their lives, and to do some chores for once,
Well, that's a big thing in Japanese culture. No, we don't.
Yeah.
But in Japan, like school children, they have to, at the end of the school day, clean the classroom, clean the hallways, organize everything. They serve lunch to their classmates. Like, it's very much, you're responsible for taking care of this space. They don't have like a
Now,
janitor the way we do. Responsibility is
I
early.
love that. Now, obviously, the ultimate sign of independence is like mobility, and obviously to Miyazaki, freedom is flight. It
Mm-hmm.
combines femininity, witchcraft to sort of get Kiki's thing. But in our world, in our youth, it was a dirt bike, it was like a moped, something like that.
Go-kart.
Did you guys have a go-kart, anything like that when you were growing up?
I think the initial
No, just a
broom
bike.
is a bicycle. That's the Spielberg broom right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Had the bike. I had
Yeah.
scooter.
I had a bike. I had nothing motorized.
We have
No,
actually
nothing
had go-kart
motorized.
and four-wheeler later on, but early it was the bike. The
That's
bike was
dope.
freedom. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I also my house I grew up in was on a lake, so we had jet skis. So I would jet ski in the summer and boat and tube and water ski and all that stuff, wakeboard.
But even as a kid,
So
just being able
shout
to
out
like,
lake life.
shout out the lake.
Yep.
No, but the mobility thing is an interesting note because this lady that she meets who lives in the woods, she doesn't have a car or anything. She's taking the
No.
bus, public
Right.
transport, right? So Kiki has more kind of mobile autonomy than even she does, and there's kind of a contrast there. I guess
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means.
But I get, and she's living out in this cabin. I don't even know if she has electricity.
No.
You know, she's getting water at
Yeah, they have
one
a
point. She's like,
furnace, or are they a
yeah,
lantern? They
like a
use
wood
lantern.
burning stove. Yeah. So she's really living the sort of rugged lifestyle out in the woods.
There is
Yeah.
there is this other thing to kind of be said of look at Kiki's life in total on a timeline. It seems like the way she was raised is the mom's a witch, the house they live in has like ivy on it, it's very natural. It's secluded as well, not necessarily mainly in a part of town. But the dad has no witchcraft abilities. The radio are his. He's wearing a bow tie, seems like a man of science, wants to go camping, wants to do things. Comes in a car. He's maybe been more from a city. So now we kind of again have this look of like she felt at home with the animals on the train taking the hay into the city. She smells the hay and says it smells so good.
Yeah.
She's being pulled towards nature at all times. She ends up with the couple in the city and has to decide if this is her life, but again is drawn to what you would call a witch in the woods, like what people called single women, who were odd, who lived in nature, witches, right? Like she's being drawn to that as well and trying to find where does she fit in between these two worlds.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Very true. And, we mentioned it last week, but a very different kind of witch movie this week versus our last week's movie, Weapons, which had
Yes.
a much more
Back-to-back
sinister witch
witches.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the witching hour.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we're
these
doing
are
witches.
nice witches.
These are nice
When
witches.
Kiki lands at the young woman's house,
She
and
asks for a
says,
bowl of water.
"Can I trouble you for a bowl of water?"
But... yeah.
Oh, no,
yeah.
No, I know this is strange. I flew in on a broom. Let me just get a bowl of that water of yours real quick.
Gets out a twig, cuts herself with it, starts
She's got
wrapping some
all
hair
that makeup
around it.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the woman had just finished making 7 hot dogs for the crows. Yeah, but that she does kind of need that because we see at a later point in the movie when she does feel kind of burnt out, like she's losing it, like her passion. She has to go back to the woods, to the countryside, what she's comfortable with, to hang out with her to kind of get her groove back, right?
She kind of gets a pep talk from
She has a Spider-Man
this woman.
2 situation. Yeah.
And the woman's just basically like, look, you just got to be yourself and trust in your abilities and stuff, and you'll figure it out.
Thinking it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Go
ahead.
Sorry. I was gonna say, let's talk more about sort of the various adventures. So we have the stuffed
we get
cat.
Jiji back, yeah. So we sew up
Yeah.
Jiji. I love
They
this
make
dog.
the switch. The dog helps him out. They're like, because Gigi's like, yeah, this dog like agreed to help us out by
First thing
taking me
he
outside.
says, again, I'm crying. The dog's a hero. I'm proud of the
Mhm.
dog. And he says, if you
This
ask
old
him
dog.
nicely, I bet he'll help us out. And they're like, okay. And even the way the family's talking about him, they're like, you're so old. You got to pee because it's raining. You're so old and dumb. You know, like, you just love that toy, you dumb old dog.
He
Yeah.
thinks it's a puppy. And the kid's like, yeah, all that old dog does is sleep these days.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, he's probably old and tired. He's an old
Yeah,
dog.
dude.
That's
We
right.
love him.
Just the way he flops his
remember.
tail, like when he's waiting for her to give him the stuffed one. Just a lot of good characterization with that
Yeah.
dog. He's not in it a lot, but
Yeah.
he makes a big impact on you. I love that dog.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
And there's some funny scenes of Gigi having to stand, completely still, pretending to be the stuffed cat while the kid's playing with it or whatever. Some funny stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
watching TV.
yeah, and then she's got some other stuff she's got to do, some other deliveries.
A very heavy
think
package,
another-
but I don't need any help. Like there's kind of that sequence where it's like I'll
Yeah.
carry it over
Just
myself.
carry
I'm a
it over
grown
to
up.
the-
Yeah.
carry it over to the weighing, the scale to weigh it and everything.
I hope she's
Yeah.
charging by mile, too.
It's charged by
Yeah.
weight and the Takubin in real life charges by weight and distance. So
I would
Yeah.
hope
I hope
so.
she's
Just
taking
say
that
like,
into account.
in the city limits or outside the city limits.
But my favorite question she asks on her questionnaire is, and what color's the roof? Because obviously, like, that's her identifying,
yes,
like,
blue
then
roof.
there we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
That's really great.
Meanwhile, yeah, let's talk about Tombo, the boy that obviously is
Tombo.
in love with this new witch that's came in out of nowhere and flew in on her broomstick. He's kind of like fascinated by her, and as we learn, he's got a passion for aviation. Big
Mhm.
surprise there. A Miyazaki character.
I'm in
who's
the
into
aviation society. It's kind of a kids club, is what he says. And you're like, a kids club? What the fuck
Yeah.
are you
Aviation.
talking about?
Kids Aviation Club.
Yep.
But he's just fascinated by Kiki, and she's like, "Oh, you're a witch. You fly around on a broomstick. That's so
Miss
cool.
Witch.
I want to know everything about you." But then he kind of comes off as too forward to her when they first meet. So she's kind of taken aback and like, "Oh, this boy is like kind of rude. He doesn't introduce himself properly," and so she's a little standoffish to him throughout
that
most
is
of the movie.
kind of her old
Yeah.
school thing. It's like you should have introduced yourself first. That's what a proper gentleman would do. Like back in the day,
Right.
she has this kind of more old school approach when she's in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of sweet. But he's
She's
got a
not sure,
flying
like,
contraption.
what he's all about, but he just wants to get to know her kind of better, and he invites her to a party that his aviation club's having at one point. And he's kind of very persistent in just trying to get to know her, and eventually she does kind of open up and they become friends, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's got a cool bike plane thing that he's rocking.
Yeah, he shows
you
her
know?
that
God,
we're making
God.
a plane.
tell 10-year-old me that it's not a genius idea. A propeller and wings on a bicycle. I'm immediately like, yeah, wait, that fucking would work. I'm pretty sure.
Why didn't we do that? Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got the propeller, and he's like, we're going to put the wings on and stuff at someone else's house eventually. But they go on a little bike ride, and he's got the propeller, and then they end up almost, there's a sort of bike crash that could have gone horribly wrong where they kind of go over a cliff. But it ends up all right because I think Kiki even uses a little of her magic so that they don't crash too hard.
Kind of ETs him, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have, so she meets a nice old lady, a nice old rich lady, it seems like, where she goes to her house and to deliver this pie to her grandchildren. As I mentioned, the pumpkin and herring pie sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And she meets this lady and also her older housekeeper. So it's two old ladies.
That's my
and when she
roommate.
gets there, yeah. Two old ladies living together. Who knows what their
Who knows?
relationship is, but
Now you can look at Kiki in these moments of why is she so antagonistic right away from Tombo? You guys are saying it's the sort of
Right.
proper nature, old timey way she's raised.
Mm.
This entire chapter where Jiji is constantly saying, Tombo invited you to a party, you have to leave at this time. And she's like, I have other things to do. And she's self-sabotaging. She does not have to stay there to do the chores, does not have to, all these other things. it's not just that she's a good person. Obviously, that's the moral payoff that we're looking for. That, like, yeah, somebody like Kiki would stay around and help, like, an 80-year-old grandma. It's not that as much as I think, again, it's just a metaphor for, like, anxiety. It's that she's,
Yeah.
again, so nervous about being in a new place and has a real shot to make new friends now and is sort of getting her own way to be like, oh, but if I do that, that kind of means I'm laying roots. And, what does that kind of mean? And
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
also
get
think it's
that.
kind of like when you're younger, like growing up, like if you had a crush on someone or someone had a crush on you, you kind of act like you didn't like them because you were kind of almost like weirded out by like the attention that they're giving
yes.
you or something. And it's like,
Hmm.
I don't really know how to feel about this person yet. So she's still trying to figure out how she feels about Tombo, who I think kind of obviously might have like a crush on her.
Yes.
Um,
Hmm.
and is
Jacob, that
very
is
sort
so
of,
specific. It's not
yeah,
embarrassment. It's recognizing that someone thinks you're special. And what a
yeah.
weird sensation that is for the first time where you're like, wait, but what do you mean?
And she
But she
has,
is kind of shy and like,
yes.
yeah, doesn't know what to make of this guy being so
Yeah.
exuberant and be like, oh, you're a witch, huh? That's
Just
cool.
her.
Like,
Just I told you she always wears black. I'm always talking about you.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And there's maybe a degree to where she's like, oh, like he just loves flying. Maybe he doesn't like me as a person. It's just that I can
Yeah.
fly is what he likes. Like she's,
I do
Yeah.
that thing he seems obsessed with.
yeah, maybe that's the only reason he cares
and also
about
she
her.
doesn't like
Yeah.
his friends. Like his friends are the same people that she's like, oh, those pretentious other kids and stuff. And then of course she delivers this pie at one point to the grandchild who ends up being one of Tombo's friends who kind of sticks her nose up at this pie. And then she's like, oh, I helped make this pie with your dang grandma and drove here in the rain on my broom, and this is how you react. So she's kind of
It's
turned
that.
off by that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, so she shows up at this old lady's house. This lady's like, "Oh, I was gonna have you deliver this pie. Unfortunately, like my electric oven or whatever broke, so this pie is like not finished."
Mm.
And even then, Kiki's like, "You know what? I can help. Like, we can get that old-fashioned wood burning stove going, and we can cook it that way. And my mom taught me how to do that, so I can help
Right.
out."
What?
Yeah,
So that comes in handy for sure. A lot of
yeah.
baking.
And this old lady's just a nice old lady. Um, Again, I think this lady's rich because she lives in this nice house. She's got all these like
Mm-hmm.
old
Oh
antiques
yeah.
and stuff. Clearly comes from like money, um, and her old housekeeper. And yeah, so there's just this interesting relationship there.
I think the implication is Tombo's rich, but what I love it, this old lady at the end overpays, and Kiki says, no, no, no. And she says, Kiki, yes, for you. And then Kiki does a little curtsy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep. That's right. The overpaying's great.
because I mean, she really goes above and beyond, helping cook this thing. And she's like, I can't take money for nothing. I got to help
So,
out in some way.
what can I do
Mm.
while we're waiting? Are there any light bulbs that need changed?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, Kiki, get off that ladder. What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Let's have
Gigi's
some
like, you
tea.
have a party to go to. Yes. And then they're like, well, we certainly have to have some tea. And she's like, we should. We really
We should
should.
definitely do that.
Yeah. And she is almost like procrastinating and being like, yeah, she's got invited to this party later that night. She's like, I can get all my deliveries done before
Yeah.
then. But she seems like she's creating more work to do because she's
Yeah.
like trying to avoid the party because she's still so nervous about Tombo and everything.
Mhm.
This is where we get the moment where Tombo's there waiting, and then the baker husband comes out, and they both give each
Yeah.
other a head nod as they're looking up for her because they know that, again, the storm is so bad.
And this is such
Mhm.
a sad moment because I felt bad for Tombo for like most of this movie because he's like seems like a nice kid. He just wants to get to know Kiki better, and she's being
Mhm.
so like kind of standoffish for a lot of the movie. I'm just like, oh, he's trying so hard. And he shows up, he like waits for her with the umbrella and everything, and then he's so kind of dejected when he leaves. And he's like, ah, man, it's okay, Tombo. Like,
She's
things will
not
get
here to
better.
fuck around. She's here to start a life and a
He's for
business.
real. And
Yeah.
it is interesting because she does talk about on the way to the city that with Jiji, like, oh, but what if I find a boyfriend or whatever? And then when she meets Tombo, she's so like, I don't feel comfortable with this. Like it's the opposite of
Yes.
kind of
And
what you
Yeah.
also,
stated.
her dad is a nerd with glasses who clearly loved gadgets, like, clearly is
Right.
a Tombo.
Right, right.
Yeah. I thought the dad in this looked a lot like the dad from Totoro. Very similar just in looks and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, very similar kind of vibes.
Um Yeah, but this is so she's leaving the old lady's house, deliver the pie. It starts raining, so she's flying through the rain. She's getting soaked. She delivers this pie. The grandchild is like so, wants nothing to do with this pie. Like, it's such a bad reaction. So Kiki's now in this bad mood. She comes home to the bakery. She's like, I can't go to the party now. My clothes are all wet, and she's kind of. This is like the one time she sort of has this immature moment where she's acting her age, 13, where she's like, maybe I have taken on too much and now it's kind of all overwhelming me. It's it's a puberty thing. It's an adolescence thing where she's like feeling all these emotions and stuff. She kind of storms up to her room. She's like, I can't go to the party now. Like, my clothes are all wet and stuff. Yeah. And then she ends up getting sick because she was in the rain. And the next morning she's like, oh, I'm sick. So, this is kind of if anything, this is like the low point of her journey where she's like experiencing the most amount of story tension. As this is like as much as it gets, really.
And again, anxiety, and this is where it starts the slippery slope of her powers and Gigi's supernaturalism, and she just
she starts to lose the ability to talk to Gigi. She starts to lose her flying ability, and then it is interesting. I mean, it's definitely on purpose because Miyazaki wrote the script. But yeah, all of the things are heightened to the max. This kind of, what is the relationship with Tembo? How do I feel about that? Is my work fulfilling? My customers don't seem as grateful as they were. Also, the weather is bad. Like, all the stuff is happening at once, which I think intentionally is like when we're at the Spider-Man 2 low point.
She like wakes up the next morning. She's sick. She's stuck in bed. She's like, oh, I feel so sick. And
am I gonna die?
The baker lady's trying to help her out, but she's also like, that boy was waiting for a long time last night. Like, it would have been nice if you went to the party with him and stuff. Kind of like, saying that stuff. So yeah, it's overwhelming to her. But she has to recover from being sick. And this is around the time where the saddest thing in the movie to me is she stops being able to understand Gigi, and she's like, Gigi, why are you talking like a cat? Why aren't you talking like a human anymore?
Well, you only come here for dinner. Oh, and I guess you're just gonna meow, meow, meow. Wait, no. And truly, I made the joke, but the implication is that he has passed on to adulthood. He has moved to a plateau that they no longer share. She remains a child despite the circumstances she's thrusting herself into.
He's kind of
or you could look at it as
with a neighbor cat at this point.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Her not being able to understand Gigi anymore is almost like because she's becoming an adult, and only maybe adults can understand Gigi, but only a child could.
Yeah, that's kind of
Polar Express thing.
Right.
Every time you make
can't hear the bells
Polar
anymore.
Express, and I'm racing to get there.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it's on your mind as much as it's on mine.
Right.
Of course. But Tom Hanks. Yeah.
Get on this train.
Never let it cool.
Yeah. That was kind of my read too. It's like, as she grows up, like Gigi, in kind of my mind, is almost like her comfort, like, animal. Like, he reaffirms what she needs to hear or wants to hear. Like, he is kind of her inside voice. Like, maybe we should go to another city. Like, he's kind of some of her internal dialogue. And now that she's growing up, she no longer needs that. So she just unfortunately loses that.
And I think it's sad to me too, because this kind of never gets resolved, in that you never start hearing Gigi talk again. Even by the end of the film, it's like she's maybe kind of accepted that he's just talks like a cat now.
No, it does get resolved. It does not get the happy ending you want it to, but the last thing that happens, if you watch the post-credit stuff, is that he's on her shoulder and meows, and she says, that's right, or something to the effect of like, she doesn't understand him. She's just reacting to the meow.
Yeah.
I did.
And she writes home to her parents and stuff and says like, yeah, me and Gigi are doing all right now. But she can't hear him talk.
Never get that back. It's there was I think the 1989 dub. I saw this on a YouTube video, but I haven't seen this version. But there was a clip where Gigi does say something in English on the dub. Like, they change it in the dub to,
I'll always love you, Kiki.
Yeah, there's something dumb like that.
Gigi.
And I thought that was the Disney version, so I'm glad that you're confirming that they took that out of the second dub, because I think it is intentional. Yeah, she just loses the ability to talk to Gigi, because sometimes growing up is not having your imaginary friend, or not needing your imaginary friend anymore, or however you want to read it, something like that.
I'll tell you what, I can read this about what Miyazaki said about it.
Hmm.
Oh no.
Basically, so
Takes
yeah,
a
Kiki's
drag.
loss of her witch powers is considered the worst crisis she faces during the film. And Jiji served as the wiser voice to Kiki. She stopped being able to understand in the moment she struggles with self-doubt. According to
Hmm.
Miyazaki himself, Jiji is meant to represent the immature side of Kiki, and her inability to talk to Jiji represents her newfound maturity at the end of the movie.
Okay.
So there you go.
Growing up.
So it is her coming of age and
Her growing past.
leaving the childish things behind, I guess, like talking to cats.
Yeah, and there's something about just the idea of Kiki. Miyazaki always says childhood is the best time of anyone's life, and that like children possess magical qualities, imagination, this kind of innocence, right? But as we grow up, we lose some of
Absolutely.
that. And in true Miyazaki fashion, it's like, yep, sometimes you just don't get some of that back, and that's growing up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
And Kiki, you can compare to a lot of Miyazaki characters. He has a lot in common. Obviously, Nausicaa, Chihiro from Spirited Away, I think is probably the most similar in that once we get to Spirited Away, we'll talk about it, but sort of this coming of age journey and coming into her own and becoming an independent person, a more mature person and stuff. That's kind of what Spirited Away is all about as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she's
but
at the
it's
low
a classic Miyazaki thing.
Miyazaki
So
character.
Kiki decides to take a little break, and then
Yeah.
the love of her life says, "But what if I rode around in the most dangerous Hindenburg-style device ever conceived?"
Yeah, they go on a little bike ride in his little propeller bike. He's like, "You want to check out this dirigible that crashed on the beach? Like, we can go check that out." And she's like, "Okay, I guess. I don't know what that a dirigible is, but that sounds fun." And so it's a Zeppelin that's crashed, a Led Zeppelin, if you will.
There we go. A Hindenburg.
Yeah, an airship. Miyazaki loves his airships, of course. And that's again whenever Kiki sees Tombo's friends, she kind of like sticks up her nose at them because she is sort of warming up to Tombo on this bike ride. They crash. They kind of have a bonding moment. They're kind of sitting together in the grass and talking and stuff. He's like, "Oh man, I wish I was born into a witch family and could fly and all this stuff."
But you've been flying since you were a baby. You're fearless. And she says, "Yeah."
Yeah. So he
Mhm.
really looks up to her in that way. And so she's starting to like him more as a friend. And then his friends drive by in their car and they're like, "Oh, Tombo's with that girl again, that witch." And they're all kind of laughing. And she's like, "Oh, those stuck up kids. They don't even like their grandmother's pie."
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do like them bombing around in that car, very City Boys style. Like, yeah, we're cruising
Yeah.
around, teens. Yeah, it makes sense.
He's in a gang. It's a street gang.
He's in a gang. The Aviation Club is a
Yeah.
cover.
I want to know who's driving that car though, because are they even old enough to be driving?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's now at this low where she has to stop doing deliveries because she can't fly anymore either. She kind of gets to that point.
Right.
And that's
She almost
when
it's like she gets sick from the weather and then like loses her powers at the same time. Like from
Yeah.
it's almost like she got sick and she's like, I can't even fly anymore.
She's
So
punished
she's
by
even
God.
like she's delivering
Mhm.
things, walking around because she can't fly. Yeah.
Yep. And she ends up going back to the woods and having a little sleepover with our artist lady.
Yeah. Well, the artist lady comes to the city
That's right.
to meet her and she's like, "Oh yeah, I was in the city, like I was gonna do some shopping and stuff." And she's like, "Can I come back to you to your cabin and like hang out a little bit?" And she's like, "Yeah, of course." And so again, she's like the cool older woman that Kiki obviously looks up to.
Wants
Mhm.
to bang.
Yeah, so
Well, I don't
they
know
got
about that.
so they take the bus out. They almost miss the bus. They've got to run out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where we get kind of I guess the thesis of the movie, not the whole thesis, but they're having this heart to heart. She's doing this painting where she's like, "Oh, I needed to finish this painting, but I realized your face is perfect." Where they do that whole thing, but they talk about like the inspiration gap of like bakers have energy, bakers have inspiration, painters, witches, like you got to hold on to your passion, that kind of
Yeah,
thing is
why are
going
you
on.
thinking so much about it? Did you ever think about flying your broom before?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right.
It's
Can't
like, no, I
force
just
it.
did it. It's like, right, yeah.
Yeah, again, the idea of like monetizing your passion and then it becoming almost a burden to you or a chore because you're having to do it now for money. And as any creative person can kind of understand that, like if you love to draw, like this woman, she's an artist, she loves to draw, but if you start having to do that for your job, then you can almost kind of grow to hate it because you're forced to do what you once wanted to do, just out of pure passion, and now you're forced to do it to make a living, and so you can become burnt out. And I think that's kind of what Kiki gets burnt out on, delivering things and flying, and that's when she loses her powers.
Yeah, this movie is the millennial life path of like
Yeah,
commodify what you love until you resent it,
right.
because you
I
must
wonder if
pay
it was
rent.
Miyazaki too, being loving animation, but then being burnt out on doing animation because now he's doing that because that's his career, and then he's like, wait, I kind of hate this now.
And now there's an
But it has
expectation
to,
because he's having
yeah,
success. Yeah.
right, right. But then you have to re-find your passion for it and just let go of any kind of preconceived notions and be like, you know what, I just got to get back to the old me and just do what I love.
It's like
Yeah.
Mike and his YouTube videos about his rock climbing adventures.
Yeah. You can either do that, either get back to what you love, or as Miyazaki does, just smoke 35 cigarettes a day and push through it. That's my method.
Right,
Um,
right.
but yeah, we have a good talk, and she kind of goes back. Wait, she goes to the old lady's house too, right? She goes to hang out with them for a bit. I'm trying to remember what happens after the woods.
Yeah, she goes back because the old lady has something else to deliver, and then she gets there and she's like, guess what it is? It's a cake that I made for you. It says Kiki on it. She's like, you made that for me? And she's like, yeah, can you deliver that to a nice young lady named Kiki and also ask her when her birthday is so I
Oh
can
yeah.
make her another one on her birthday.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's at the old lady's house, and this is when they see on the TV, that there's, the dirigible causing, there's a whole commotion, and Tombo needs help.
Things aren't safe.
And this is what inspires Kiki to fly again when she has to save Tombo.
Mm-hmm.
She
Right?
has a janitor. She's in the street. She runs. She is brave.
Can
She's
I
not
borrow
even
your
flying.
broom? Yeah.
Excuse me, Mr. Janitor. Guy sweeping up the trash on like a parade day. He's like, yes.
Yeah.
Can I have your broom? Well, no, this is my
I'll
broom.
bring it right
And she
back.
says,
Yeah.
give that to
Mhm.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that it's just a janitor broom. It's like because she was
Yeah.
using her
Yeah,
mom's
it's not
broom,
a
tried and
regular
true.
broom. It's
Now she's figuring it out for real on the fly.
one of those
It
flat,
bristles out.
it's got the long thing.
Fucking
Yeah.
bams it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
And she's
that.
got to really concentrate and focus. And there's this big climactic moment where she starts flying again for the first time. And this is a great scene, of her flying and then having to rescue Tombo before he hits the clock tower.
That's right. No, I love kind of she's jumping off the building, not quite flying. She's trying to get there, get it to work. She's like
Yeah.
flipping around a little bit, and she finally locks in. Like, yeah, it's just a really well done sequence of when she finally kind of gets her groove
Yeah.
back. Save Tombo.
And then the movie just kind of ends, which is the thing with I think you could say about a lot of Miyazaki movies is that at some point they just end, and there's not always like this like super satisfying conclusion, because again it's a slice of life, and it's just kind of like, yeah, and Kiki continued to have adventures, but this is where it ends. And it's almost like, oh man, I wish there was a sequel to this movie where we could see the continuing adventures of Kiki.
I like the
Because
idea of
yeah.
every one of these movies reflects you're sitting with Hayao Miyazaki and he abruptly stops telling you a story and stops talking, and you're just like,
Yeah.
that
I
it?
want to know more.
and
Yeah.
he doesn't answer you. He just like sips his tea and smokes his cigarette, like Mike's saying, and you're
He
like,
just sparks it
oh, I
up.
guess he's done. All right,
Looks out
well,
the
yeah,
window.
Kiki was good.
Right.
I
So I kind of felt this way with Nausicaa too, where it's like I want to see more of more adventures in the Nausicaa, and that was based on a manga that wasn't finished and did run for a few more years. So there's a lot more story to the manga. And with this Kiki, it's like, yeah, I want to see what Kiki's up to. Like, does she continue to make deliveries and stuff? Like, what's going on with Jiji? What's going on with Tombo? Like, I wish there was a Kiki too.
Right. Similar to Totoro, though, we do get these kind of vignettes over the credits showing that, oh, Gigi had kids, and like she does do some more deliveries. Like we see that there are adventures continuing, but we do get our
And
first
to wrap up with the parents.
the post credit, our first Miyazaki post-cred scene with the parents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Writing her the letter. Or writing a letter to
Right.
them.
And that's kind of the conclusion. It's like, yeah, me and Gigi are doing well in the big city and everything's going great now.
Mm-hmm.
But I still
Yeah.
want to, like, Miyazaki's never made a sequel to one of his movies, obviously, but I think I would love a Kiki's Delivery Service too.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I mean,
I
not
was
now, obviously, but like,
no.
yeah.
But I was worried, yeah, as it was ending, that we were never going to get resolution with the parents. I'm like, she never talked to her parents again. So I'm glad that we got that scene with the letter because the credits were rolling, and I'm like, wait, no.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they at least wrapped it up
We're
with
really
that button.
done.
Yeah.
Tombo fucking finishes their weird plane
Mhm.
project.
Yeah.
They're flying together. Yeah, it's cool. So she's doing it, but
Gigi met the nice neighbor cat that he thought was stuck up, but then they ended up being in love. Just two cats in love.
yeah, and then
Well,
now
Kiki
they're
gets a
running around.
sign. I really like that. A sign for her business.
And
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's great. Tombo helps hang it up.
That's
right?
another nice moment when she sees the sign in the window for the first time, and then she realizes that the himbo husband made it for her.
The bride.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, Kiki, she did it. She
There's a lot of great
overcame.
moments in this movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's a movie of a lot of great moments and just a great slice of life. And obviously more eventful than Totoro, I think, in that, like you're saying, it's following this character of Kiki. So I think it is more interesting plot-wise than Totoro, but still, there's nothing super bad going to happen, obviously. Like, it's mainly just a very nice, lighthearted movie about, adolescence and independence and coming of age.
Yeah,
Adolescence,
there's
the
nothing super
intersection
bad
of
gonna happen. McLovin never shows up.
nothing super bad. No, nothing super
Yeah,
bad.
Michael Cera isn't there. Yeah,
Jonah Hill. But yeah,
all of them. Yeah,
yeah, Kiki's Delivery Service, like I was saying, just the intersection of coming of age and self-commodification under the capitalist systems and all the adventures
Yeah.
that go with it. Yeah. So,
but you know what I was thinking too? I was like, man, this Baker couple, like, they're kind of living the dream life where they have they have their responsibilities of baking bread and stuff, but they live in this nice house. They've got a nice family, and they're able to live off of their obviously whatever they make from their bakery. And it just seems like that's kind of the simple life, and I feel like I just want to get back to that. If I could just start a bakery or something where I just
yeah.
just could live a
You're
nice
always
life like that.
emailing Mike and I about bad wives. We know it. We know it.
I want to be in the kitchen.
Stop.
It's just this movie makes me nostalgic for a time that I'm not sure ever existed or
Yeah.
does exist at this point, but just a simpler time when people are nice, people are polite and respectful of each other, and you work for a living, but you make enough money to live and just have a happy life.
Well, this is the
I
work of
feel like that's
fiction.
impossible in today's 21st century standards.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no, I think that's
My
a good
young
place.
wife and I adopted a 13-year-old girl.
And we have free labor. Right.
I'd be like, huh? What?
You can afford, you're going to have a kid and you got a second one. You can
It's the
afford
simple
that.
life.
Yeah. Off breaking bread. All
Go to
right.
jail.
Right, and they have their own bakery, and they make enough to live in this bakery. They've got they live in a beautiful city, a beautiful coastal city that we love. Just it's just makes me nostalgic.
Yeah, man.
Just want
A
to
lot
move
of
to
these
this
movies
city.
do.
So, yeah, if only I could be a young witch moving to the big city for the first time.
Oh boy. Well, those sound like final thoughts. So let's move over there.
Sounds good.
We're back here on Normies Like Us, where we're wrapping things up. Jacob no longer has the ability to speak.
Meow.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah,
only come back
Kiki's.
for food nowadays. Yeah. Kiki's delivery
knows where-
service.
People say Gigi knows where his bread is buttered. That's what my parents would say when our pets would run away. They'd be like, they'll come back, for the food. They know where they got it good.
They know where their bread is buttered.
At the bakery,
Yeah.
in this case.
I like that.
But there's something about, like Jacob said, the nostalgia of this movie where it is like an artisan bakery, literally just a painter doing what they like. We have like
Yeah.
Have you been to a bakery? Like now with everything being so commercialized, right? It is like this throwback to when people just had trades. Like you did something that you were good at and you could live off it. Like, now it's like, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Do you know a baker that doesn't
It's a
work at Kroger's?
simpler life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very different
And
now.
I was saying this in our Totoro. Totoro made me want to move to rural Japan and just become like a Japanese farmer. And this movie makes me want to become a baker. And
Hmm.
it's just something I've been thinking about more and more, that I just need to move to a brand new city, start a whole new life,
Oh boy.
leave my old life behind,
Oh
and
boy.
just become a baker or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fix whatever is broken inside of me by starting a new life.
It
So,
will. It will.
Hmm.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that always works.
According to the media that I've consumed, yes, it's fine. Um, you'll have a sense of community. You'll have neighborly interactions. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I've been there are visa programs that'll like pay for you to be a farmer in Japan because they need labor. And in the same way, I'm like watching this, like, you know what? Yeah, maybe
Right.
like late stage capitalist America is not the end all be all. Maybe I just need a farm and to like take baked goods over to my neighbor's house or take some vegetables
Exactly.
that I grew to my neighbors.
And
Say,
Mike's son, Jacob's son, marry my beautiful daughters.
hey.
You're like,
Right.
oh, well, I mean, while we're here, if you're begging me to, I
I have
guess.
to.
Yeah. And I think about like even in America, like I think about like, oh, would I be happier if I moved to like a small town where everybody knew each other? But then I'm like, wait, in America, like I think all the small towns are like actually evil, and the
Right.
corruption is on the inside, you know. So I don't know if it actually is good. Like I'll move to the small town of weapons, and
Oh,
there's
geez,
the
yeah.
insidiousness of deep down inside. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
But they do these movies make you nostalgic for that kind of vibe. Who knows if it existed? But yeah, this movie's about innocence lost, and I can't help but when watching it feel that I have definitely lost mine, and it's sad. Like I wish I could go to a simpler time. Like there's a weird kind of painful nostalgia that these
Yes,
bring about in me. Um, thanks Miyazaki
absolutely.
for exposing the
Absolutely.
hole in my
And that's what
heart.
Miyazaki does.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think everything was better before the internet, before social media, back in the 80s.
yeah.
Oh boy.
We could return. We need to return.
Just hindsight, dog. We're all just
Well,
scared of the future. I
That's
know.
true. Uh,
I think it's corrupted our minds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Too much information, everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah.
Well, again,
Yeah.
AI couldn't draw this, you bastards. So I've been loving our Miyazaki.
Yeah, you bastards.
What a great,
That's right.
what a great run, Jacob. Remind us what else do we got coming up, and what is the next Miyazaki?
Yeah.
film?
So the next one in September will be Porco Rosso.
That's
Another one of my
just-
favorites.
Wow.
We're just on a run here, guys. Like it's gonna just be home runs from here on out.
Absolutely. Yeah, that one I'm looking forward to. That's another good English dub because you got Michael Keaton, Batman himself, Beetlejuice, Porco Rosso. But I'll check out the Japanese language one probably for the first time, so I'll compare that. So that's next month. Yeah.
I've never seen that one.
Have you seen that one?
Saying. Nope. That'll be first watch.
Oh, that'll be a good first watch for you then. Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
But as far as what we have coming up next, we have Whatcha next week, and then we have a very special episode planned for episode 360. What could it be? 360.
What could
Well,
it be?
We're gonna turn around in 360 degrees, and we're gonna look at each other, and we're gonna do a very special episode.
Sounds fun.
Yep. Well, looking forward to
Mike's
it.
doing it.
Trying. But yeah.
Absolutely. And then we've got some new shows that we're gonna be talking about in September. We've got Twisted Metal. We've got Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. We've got Alien Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And who else? Who knows what else? Wednesday, maybe, if the
Don't
fans
make us-
demand it.
Probably not. Colin's on medication now. His brain doesn't yearn for that anymore.
Nope.
That's right. Peacemaker season 2 also coming out soon. I'm looking forward to that one. The next DCU
Been
project.
4 years. Did you know that?
Wow, that's a long
4
time.
years? Is that true? I thought it was 3 years.
I think 3.5. I think is what I saw.
Wow.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. John Cena James Gunn.
Too long.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Peacemaker. Been watching Twisted Metal. Been watching Strange New Worlds. So a lot of new TV coming out. Even Fallout season 2 coming out soon. Remember
Whoa.
Fallout show? So
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of good things on the horizon.
When does The Pit come out?
The Pit comes back in January. Don't you worry, Colin.
We'll probably do it. We'll probably do an episode on The Pit next season. I want everybody to know that.
Well, you have to watch it
Okay.
first. I keep telling people to
I'll
watch it. No one
try.
listens to me.
We'll see. We'll see.
There's a lot of drama around a specific character who's not returning for season 2, possibly due to some conflicts with the actress. So there's a whole drama around that right now, which is very interesting. Yeah, basically the second lead of the first season is not returning for season 2.
Wow.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about it. But yeah,
Maybe
watch
we'll
it
talk
next
about it.
week. So get ready for that. Catch you up on everything we've been watching, playing, everything. So
Hell yeah.
there you go.
It's been a minute. But I know we do them every 10, but it always feels like it's been a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a good interval to do them into.
Yeah.
But that's Kiki's delivery service. Anything else to say?
No, just deliver a like and a share, guys, for us if you could. That'd be great.
That's
Love it,
right.
man.
Please
Check us
do.
out at normies_like_us on all social media. Rate, review, subscribe. Like Mike said, deliver us a like, a review, a subscribe.
Like Mike.
We could use it.
Check us out on YouTube. Yep, for sure. See our beautiful faces.
Indeed.
And we hope you've been watching these Miyazakis along with us, because it's always fun to revisit one of the masters. And he's not getting any younger, so we got to appreciate him while he's still around. And we love him.
And don't fuck with AI.
No.
And knock it off.
We'll kill
All
you
right.
if you do.
Yes. We'll find you.
All right.
All right. Well, we've been your host. This is Cece the cat.
Mikey's delivery service.
This is Jiji Cub, also the cat.
All right. Now
Meow.
with children. We'll catch you next time, normies. Stay fly. And yeah.
That's right.
Thanks for the
And
tip.
yeah, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.